My name is Nuri Remilian, and I am coming from Guatemala. I was born there. I am the coordinator for the groups that are coming as volunteers to help the Lutheran churches in my country. At the little village of Gualan, and we were there with a medical team, when a lady came and she was carrying a little baby, and one of the members of the team, Susan, she realized that this little baby was really dehydrated and with a purple color, and she came to us and says that she is feeling so worried about that little baby. And when the doctors started to look at the little baby, they realized that this baby was with maybe some few hours to die. And they started to give her hydration, and they gave her more milk to the mother so she can feed the baby better. And the mother and the baby left. But then Susan came to us, and she was so worried that this baby was going to die that she asked me if that baby was baptized. The pastor and Sister Susan, they had the opportunity to baptize that little baby. And it was a beautiful moment for every one of us there, because we realized that we were looking, our goal was to help the people with their issues that they have, with the illness that they could have, and also share the gospel. But then all of a sudden, we realized that there was a little baby there that could die without being baptized. That family, today, they usually go and they meet with the other families of that little neighborhood, and they go to the Bible studies, and pastor visits them to see how they're doing. But that baby is alive, thanks to the Lord and thanks to the help of the medical team.
My first trip was in 2004, and my husband and I were both going on the trip. And my children were fairly young at the time, 10 and 12 years old. My son was okay with it, but the morning of the trip, we had to leave about 7 o'clock in the morning, and he got up all bleary-eyed and, to say goodbye, and he said, are you sure you have to go? I really don't want you to go. Can't you just stay here? And I said, I can't, because these people have been waiting for us to come and bring them eyeglasses, and what if you were over there waiting for eyeglasses and nobody showed up? And wouldn't you be disappointed? And he said, yeah, you're right, you have to go, Mom.
I first met Doris Texbury when she called the office one day wanting to talk to me as the eyeglass coordinator about collecting eyeglasses for a Most Ministries eyeglass team that was heading out to Venezuela. She called me several times as she was finding more ways to collect glasses, and at one point I said to her, oh Doris, you're so into this, you should really go with your husband, with Bill, on this team. And she said, there was a long pause, and she said, well, I don't think that wouldn't be possible. And I said, oh, I'm assuming it's probably financial or some other reason. And I said, oh, why not? You sound like you're so into it, And she said, well, I really don't expect that I'll even be alive at the time that Bill gets back from this team.
Doris was 54 years old. 2004, she was down to just basically maybe 15% of her lung capacity. And we had attended a church, and they were doing a presentation with Most Ministries on a mission trip. And Karen Moylan was talking the story of how when she handed this little girl this pair of glasses, she could finally see in her life. She didn't even know what a leaf looked like. After she passed, I continued on these mission trips. I think a lot of it had to do with their Bible study, the Servanthood. I do know this. It gave me a sense of family. It gave me when she was gone. It helped me heal through the grieving process. I always felt that I had family when I would go down to most ministries and volunteer to cut glasses or whatever. I became attached to the people there, and anybody going on one of these missions, you just grow together with all these people I've met and become friends with. It changed my life, but most of all, it helped me through the grieving process. The part of being a servanthood, being a servant and going to different places and seeing how people live, but it's that reaching out and touching somebody.
And so we went. His name is Alex, which in Spanish is Alejandro, and he was 10 at the time. The last boy that came to my station was a boy named Alejandro, and he was 10 years old, and he got some glasses. And I said, "Can I take your picture, because I want to show my son your picture and how you waited for us to come here, and we came and you got your glasses. He'll be happy to know what I was doing here."